Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the Blues of September 2022. Yeah, as you might expect, I'm going to start this video off with a package that I have received from my good buddy Carlos, Mr. Eastwood for Life fan himself. And he helped me out once again getting some titles from the UK. And yeah, here's the note that he wrote. Hi Donnie, hoping that these beautiful Second Sight Collector's Edition arrives safely at your place. And with the lead up to Christmas and the end of the year, the special Collector's Edition will be coming out thick and fast. So choose wisely, haha. Take care, Carlos. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You know, all these fancy editions are coming out. Leading up to the holiday season. But anyway, the Second Sight editions that I have is The Mummy, with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. These are very, very nice sets. Here are some collector's cards and picture cards. There's the original poster there. And of course it has a booklet. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And the other one is another Hammer classic, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, also with Peter Cushing. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Again with some picture cards here. And here's the original artwork. I kind of wish they used this instead of this newly commissioned artwork, which is not bad, absolutely not bad, but I've always preferred the original poster art and all that. And here is the booklet that comes with it. Yeah, this is very nice. So thank you very much, Carlos, for helping me out once again, getting these beautiful editions from Second Sight. Next is this action-packed double feature Blu-ray that contains two films with Peter Fonda, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, one of my favorite car chase movies from the 70s. I still have the Anchor Bay DVD. Here it is, the Supercharger edition. And the other one is Race with the Devil, also starring the great Warren Oates. Finally seen it. I've always wanted to see this movie, and I quite liked it. I liked the ending too, even though I already saw it coming. But yeah, this was directed by Jack Starrett. The original director was fired by the studio after they saw the dailies. Apparently they were so unsatisfied that they replaced him. And Starrett was also an actor. He has a small role in Race with the Devil, but you might know him better as the vicious Deputy Galt in First Blood, as it says here. But yeah, two very entertaining movies here. Shadow's Land, excellent western with Charles Bronson and Jack Palance. Now, interestingly enough, Michael Winner originally wanted Gene Hackman to play the character that Palance ended up playing, and that would have been great. I mean, I love Jack Palance; he's terrific in this film, but Hackman and Bronson in one movie. I would have loved to see that. And they almost did make a movie together with Dead Hunt. But Hackman couldn't do it due to scheduling conflicts, and he was replaced by Lee Marvin. But yep, Shadowland. And here is Last Train from Gun Hill. Yeah, great film. Absolutely a great film, with Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn playing two friends who turns against each other. And sadly enough, the same thing happened to the actors in real life. They both wanted to make their own movie about Spartacus, and there was a legal battle of who owns the rights, and we all know who won that battle eventually. But this is a very nice release from Imprint. The transfer looks absolutely beautiful in glorious Technicolor, and yeah, really good. Last Train from Gun Hill. I also picked up these great Johnny To films, Exiled and Breaking News. These are the first Blu-ray releases of a new Australian label called Chameleon Films. And there is another one, the spine number are here, by the way, is number 1 and number 3. Number 2, I don't have that. I might pick it up someday. But number 2 is a Japanese film called Summer Time Machine Blues. But I really wanted to have these films. I'm a big Johnny To fan, and I always wanted to have these films on Blu-ray. I haven't seen Breaking News in a long time, so really looking forward to revisiting it. But yeah, Chameleon Films, they did a really nice job with these releases. The transfer looks really nice. It has some interesting special features, and it has something that the other Australian label, Imprint, does not have. Booklets. They do have, Imprint do have slipcases and all that, but I prefer booklets, to be honest. And this looks really nice. A lot of writings. There's an interview on here with Johnny To and information about the film. And of course, here is the other one, Breaking News. Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen this film for a long time, but I remember very well that I quite liked it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the future releases of this label. I'm hoping they're going to do more Johnny To titles like The Mission and Election 1 and 2. Next is Terror on the Prairie with Gina Carano. The last time I talked about her, I actually lost a few subscribers. Apparently, they didn't like me for being a Gina Carano fan, and that's okay. If you want to unsubscribe me for that, go right ahead. Even if I lose all of my subscribers, I'd still remain a fan of hers. That's not going to change. And as you know, I'm a big fan of westerns as well, so obviously my curiosity was piqued when I heard that Gina was going to do a western. But I kept my expectations low because it was directed by the guy who also did Force of Nature with Mel Gibson, and that was really bad. But I thought Terror on the Prairie was very decent. Flawed, but decent. The cinematography is beautiful. The location and the scenery is absolutely gorgeous. It was shot in Montana, and Gina Carano was absolutely fine. Although I'd rather see her kicking ass like in Haywire. I still think that's her best movie. And it also has a small cameo of Matthias Hughes, you know, the well-known German action movie star. For those who are wondering, this is not a bootleg. This is a legit Blu-ray release, or else the color of this disc would have been purple. This is a nice picture of Gina right there. And you know, like it says here, it is licensed only for use in the Benelux. The Benelux is Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. And as far as I know, this is the only official Blu-ray release of Terror on the Prairie. Next is my Vinegar Syndrome haul, and the first one is a double feature Blu-ray with Hot Snake and Guns and Guts. Two Mexican westerns that are being compared to spaghetti westerns, which is understandable because they certainly look like spaghetti westerns. I've never heard of them before until Vinegar announced them, but they turned out to be pretty good films. I really enjoyed them. Hot Snake, you know, there's a review on the Spaghetti Western database, and they gave it 6 out of 10. I personally would give it 7 out of 10. And they compared it to Django Kill with Thomas Millian. And I get that. You know, it's a surreal, gothic Western. But I actually enjoyed it more than Django Kill, to be honest. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's better than Django Kill, just more enjoyable. And Guns and Guts, this one here, there's an interview with the son of the director, and he said that the movie is a tribute to Sam Peckinpah, and it shows. You know, it has a Wild Bunch style shootout at the end and violent scenes in slow motion. He also said that Peckinpah was a friend of the family, and you know, Peckinpah had a fascination for Mexico. You know, he loved the culture and the history, especially after he married a Mexican actress. I forgot her name, but they met each other on the set of Major Dundee, and well, I digress. Anyway, I quite like these Mexican spaghetti westerns, or burrito westerns, or tequila westerns, or piano westerns, whatever you want to call them. So if you're a fan of spaghetti westerns, check these obscure films out. Speaking of obscure films, this is National Enemies, a dialogue-heavy drama with terrific performances by Hal Holbrook and Louise Fletcher, who died last week at the age of 88. She was a wonderful actress, and she will always be remembered as Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But anyway, Holbrook plays a man who, well, it says here, plans to kill his wife, his kids, and himself. Not exactly a typical feel-good movie, is it? I mean, it's pretty dark and bleak and depressing, and definitely not for everyone. Somebody on Letterboxd described it as Ingmar Bergman's Taxi Driver, and I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Jeff Canoe, the director, he was influenced by the films of Ingmar Bergman, specifically Scenes from a Marriage, and you're not going to believe it, but Canoe is also the director of Revenge of the Nerds and Troop Beverly Hills. Let that sink in for a moment. But there's a wonderful two-part interview with him, and he shares some interesting stories and anecdotes about his career and about this film. For example, after Hal Holbrook, the role was offered to Robert Redford, Paul Newman, Robert Duvall, and George C. Scott. But in the end, Holbrook was cast. But then he changed his mind. He didn't want to do it anymore, and it was Redford who brought him back. Redford and Canoe knew each other for some time. Canoe was also the editor of Redford's directorial debut, Ordinary People. But yeah, it's not an easy film to recommend. You have to be in a certain mood for it, I guess. Anyway, the last edition from my Vinegar Syndrome haul is Forgotten Jolly Volume 5. Yeah, another beautiful box set here with 3 obscure Italian giallo films. Here is 9 Guests for a Crime. Also with Arthur Kennedy, by the way. And then here we have Tropic of Cancer. That's a very strange title there. With Anthony Stephen, also known from the spaghetti westerns. And here is White Dress for Maria Leigh. Maria Leigh, I believe that's how you say it. Yeah. A very nice box set here of Forgotten Gialli. And last but not least, I picked up the Karl May box set from Germany, which also includes the Winnetou westerns. And I had this on my wanted list for some time, but I picked it up now because, well, some of you might know why, but for those who doesn't, about a month ago, a German publisher announced new Winnetou books, but they received backlash from some morons on social media. And not only have the publisher decided to withdraw the new books, they've decided to permanently stop publishing Winnetou books entirely, and other stuff that are related to Winnetou. Shortly after that, other companies followed the same example, and to put it in a nutshell, Winnetou is cancelled. And if they're going to cancel the books, they're going to cancel the movies as well. There is a German TV channel that has done just that, and so did Netflix. I actually found out about that myself. I had the Winnetou films on my to-watch list on Netflix, and I wanted to delete them from that list because I have them on Blu-ray now, but I couldn't find them anywhere. They were all gone. Usually you can find out what the movies are that will disappear from Netflix, but there was no mention of the Winnetou films at all. So I assume that due to the controversy, Netflix got cold feet and secretly removed them from their platform. And I do have to say that there are companies that refuse to jump on this particular cancel culture bandwagon, and thank God for that. It's great to see some resistance for a change against this ridiculous movement. But anyway, I thought I better get this box set now before they're going for more money, and I managed to grab this box set for a really good price on Amazon Germany, and I was in time too, because now they have doubled the price. And the movies, they might be corny and old-fashioned, but I've always enjoyed them. And of course, they do give an unrealistic and romanticized view on Native Americans, but that doesn't mean that it should be cancelled. It's the same thing that I said before about Song of the South a couple of months ago. we should watch the films, read the books, and talk about them instead of pretending they don't exist, you know. But anyway, I'm glad I finally have it. This is a very nice box set. And that was it for my September update of 2022. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.